25th. All those are willing and able to start with Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Gary Jansen,
Here.
Paul Springer,
Here.
Ryan Shelton,
Here.
Rick Schellberger, Scott Phillips,
Here.
Steve Conway, Alton Wilson.
Present.
Okay. Next item is the agenda. Assuming everybody's had a chance to look at tonight's agenda. Are there any questions, comments, additions? If not, I would move that we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Approval of draft minutes of the June 27th meeting. Any questions, comments, additions for the minutes from our last meeting? If not, I move that we approve the minutes as presented.
No, I'll second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any communications? Okay, we have one item, public hearing item tonight. It is review of LS 2023-03, application of Village VC LLC pursuant to City Code 160901, who is petitioning for a lot split involving the splitting of property the petitioner owns, which is currently addressed as 335 South Meridian in Valley Center. Ryan, you're up.
Great, thank you. Welcome, everyone. Good evening. Before you tonight, again, is the lot split, the petitioner being Village VC LLC. This property was formerly owned by Mr. Bill Eric, who is in the audience this evening. When Mr. Eric sold this property, what he did is it is city staff's understanding that in the agreement, once the sale had been finalized, that the building, the three existing buildings and the concrete around it would remain under Village VC LLC's ownership, and the land to the north and to the south would then be turned back over to Mr. Eric. And so the applicant has worked with Boffman Company to create this new lot split. It has been reviewed by city staff. Due to the nature of utilities, there are a number of easements that have been included in the agenda packet tonight in the staff report for your review. That's just to indicate that the utilities that will be crossing over these two parcels now, that they are still maintained under easement. So they're meeting those qualifications. There is also access control put in place, as this is on a very one of our busiest roads on Meridian. There are new access controls put into place to prohibit the many additional driveways going in that would connect to Meridian. And in the staff report, you do have the full lot split document itself. Again, this has been reviewed and approved by the city staff review team. There was a public notice put in the newspaper, as well as sent out to the surrounding property owners. There have been no objections, no opposition to this proposed lot split, and city staff does recommend approval of the lot split tonight. For the new members of the board, how this works is with a lot split, there is a lot split certificate which is included in your packet this evening. That lot split certificate will be signed by myself after, should you approve this as the planning and zoning board. And the lot split certificate and the additional lot split documentations, the easements, will all be filed with the County Register of Deeds office, thus legally splitting this from one parcel into two. The new property descriptions are also listed on here, so those have been created, and I will stand for any questions. I will note that there's also an applicant letter in here as well from Village VC that is formally requesting the lot split, as well as Mr. Eric, and a representative from Boffman Company as well, should they choose to speak, or you have any detailed questions for them either during or after the public hearing.
Thank you, Ryan. It's 7:14. We'll go ahead and open up the public hearing for this item. Any items from the board first? Questions, comments? Is there anybody in the audience who would like to speak on this item? Now is your opportunity. You don't have to, but if you're willing to and interested, come to the podium and give us your name and address. You're good? Okay.
I think they're good.
Thank you for explaining that, Ryan. I think that's pretty straightforward as a follow-up to the item from last week. So with that, it's 7:15, so we'll close the public hearing and bring the discussion back to the board. Last chance for comments, questions?
Ryan, this in no way impacts the decision for the building that was approved here about 2 months ago. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah. So that building, the site plan that we approved for that new commercial building is located on the parcel that'll be to the north of it. So
Yeah.
that new building, it'll be on the same lot as the existing strip mall and the storage buildings behind. Yes. So that is in no way affected by this project. That is a completely separate parcel of land. Yes.
Thank you. Good question. If there's no other discussion, based on city staff recommendations, public comments, and discussion by the Planning and Zoning Board, I make a motion to approve LS 2023-03.
Second?
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was easy enough. Old unfinished business,
None this evening.
and thank you for being here. Nothing,
No old business or new business. I just do have a couple of items under staff reports.
we're ready for that then.
Okay, fantastic. So first, just a reminder to all the board members that we will have a board meeting in August. So if you will mark that on your calendars, August 22nd at 7 p.m. here. We will have 3 items to review. The most exciting one being the site plan review for the new Aquatic and Recreation Center. So we will be doing the formal site plan review for that exciting project. Once that is approved, we are working on getting the building plans approved by Sedgwick County. And you will probably see some dirt work maybe start before that meeting. That is perfectly okay. The contractor is allowed to do dirt work, just no formal building. So they can't pour any footings or anything like that. But if you do see dirt work prior to our meeting, that's okay. The contractor does have permission to do site clearance and prep work in order for construction to start, but construction will not formally start until after the site plan has been reviewed by you as the Planning and Zoning Board and the building permit has been formally issued by the city to itself. But that's just, so we'll have that, a rezoning. And then the last item that we will have a public hearing on is actually in conjunction with Sedgwick County. And Heather, if you can pull up the last page of the agenda packet. This is more of an education piece for this evening in preparation for next month's board meeting. The map that you see before you is a map of Sedgwick County, and this is a reflection of what are called the urban growth areas. So if, Heather, if you want to zoom in on Valley Center. So you'll see Valley Center, the formal city limits are in a darker brown color. And then what you see surrounding it primarily on the north, the west, and the south is that other tannish color. That is our urban growth area. For those of you that have been on the board for a while, we did amend this with Sedgwick County back in 2020. And so this does reflect the fact that our urban growth area did grow, but this really is looking at future growth. And so this map is put together by the Sedgwick County Planning Department and then approved by both the Sedgwick County Board of County Commissioners and the City of Wichita. And what we did back in 2020 is in looking at potential future growth for the City of Valley Center, work to expand farther to the north and then to the west as well as to the south to where you see this reflected here. So we go out to Ridge Road. On the north side is 109th Street, and then on the south side is 53rd. And what this really means is that whenever they're in this lighter shaded area, whenever there's an application submitted to Sedgwick County, because all of that lighter colored area is in the unincorporated area, so it is under the jurisdiction of Sedgwick County. Whenever there is a development application, if it falls within that shaded area, we as Valley Center, as the Planning and Zoning Board, have an opportunity to hear that application, to hold a public hearing, and if the board so decides to render a recommendation to the Sedgwick County Planning Department, to their Planning Commission, and then to the Board of County Commissioners as well. So I wanted to make you aware of this because there is a conditional use application that will be that has been reviewed by Sedgwick County. Unfortunately, Sedgwick County staff were using an old version of this map. There is a conditional use application for a property located just to the east of Ridge Road. It is for a sand pit operation. And so by Sedgwick County zoning regulations, whenever a company wants to do a sand pit or a gravel operation, that is required to first acquire a conditional use application approved by the county. Sedgwick County did not include us. We were not allowed, had an opportunity to review this, so that is being rectified. And that application will then be presented to our board in August at our August 22nd board meeting. What will happen is a staff representative from Sedgwick County will come present the staff report on the conditional use application. We will then have a public hearing. So Gary will open the public hearing, and anyone that wants to speak in the audience, whether they're a Valley Center resident or not, will be allowed the opportunity to speak during the public hearing. It'll be closed, and if you as the board decide to do so, you may render a recommendation on if you would recommend to approve or disapprove this application. That will then be incorporated into a staff report that will be delivered by Sedgwick County staff back to the Sedgwick County Planning Commission. So just a heads up on that. Again, anything in that light colored area, whenever there's a development application, so whether it's a plat, a lot split, even could be considered these conditional use applications like the one that we'll be reviewing in August. Those we do have an opportunity to make a recommendation. It's in no way, shape, or form the final say. It is strictly a recommendation, but it is something because it is in our urban growth area that you as a board that we'll be able to hear next month, and then excuse me, after the public hearing, if you so choose, decide on how you would vote to handle the application. So again, this is just something to keep in mind as development moves further to the north from Wichita, or there are rural developments that anything in that shaded area, we are definitely given given an opportunity to hear that and weigh in, as that is part of our urban growth area. So I just want to make sure the board was aware that we do have some we can make formal recommendations in this area, and we'll do that at next month's board meeting in August. So any questions regarding that? I will let you know that this has been an interesting application. There's been a lot of public input, and I would anticipate there's probably going to be a lot of public input during the public hearing in August, just a heads up. But you as a board can decide how many minutes you decide to give each person. If we have a large audience attend that meeting in August, if you so choose to put a cap on the number of minutes every person is allowed to speak during the public hearing, you can do so as well. So
Thank you.
It should be an interesting meeting.
Yeah,
next month.
no, thank you for the heads up. I appreciate the explanation. I'm glad that this came back around and that we have the opportunity. Needless to say, none of us know what the future is going to bring, but that urban growth area typically does mean something. And so it's good for us to have the opportunity to weigh in, because this could certainly impact our community in the future. So
Definitely, yes.
Now, a quick question. Are we going to get a chance to see the packet in the location of this earlier, just so we can drive by it?
So I have requested from Sedgwick County staff that they provide the staff report early enough so I can include it in our agenda, our monthly agenda packet. Yes.
That'll help us.
I've made that request from I'm not making that staff report. It'll be Sedgwick
Right.
County. So I'll stand up, I'll introduce them. They'll present the staff report that they have generated, since this is their application, not ours. But I have requested that they send it to me early enough so I can send it out to all the board members.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
so we can
yes.
drive by it.
Uh-huh.
That way
Yes.
we get an idea of what kind of the environment that remonstrators might have.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely,
Thank you.
Paul. But yeah, no, I have made that request of Sedgwick County, of their planning department. They send it to me in advance so I can get it to you.
thank you.
Yep. Thank
Good
you.
deal. Anything else?
No, nothing else this evening.
You said we do have a meeting in August, obviously with this. Any items from planning commissioners? My schedule's been a little bit crazy lately. I can't catch a break on Tuesday nights. Thank you for taking care of the last few meetings. We have a new commissioner since the last time I was here. I think since the last time I was here, we had officer elections too. So I guess I'm still in this role since you weren't moved over here. I thought maybe I'd walk in and somebody else would be sitting here. Anyway, hopefully I get that squared away. The Wichita City Council has generally one nighttime meeting a year to hear the budget and the CIP, and it was tonight. So I stayed there as long as I could. Anyway, thanks for waiting on me. Sorry to make everybody here wait. All right. Nothing else? I would make a motion we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.